Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to demonstrate the gumbo today that we're going to be having for our next assignment. The first thing I'm going to show you is going to be the knife demonstration for our mirepoix ingredients. Before we start any of our cutting, we want to make sure our produce is already clean, alright? So I'm going to take our bell pepper and our celery over here to the prep sink, right? Make sure you get that root in nice and clean, alright? Take good care of it. Always around the stem of the peppers. We get that sticker out of there. We leave that behind. That becomes a physical contamination, correct? You know that. All right. Now a little bit on the knife skills. First thing with the pepper. Again, remember our grip and our safety. Keep those fingers out of the way. And first take the cap off the pepper. All right. This is all very usable still. We'll keep that here. And then we're also going to get rid of our seeds and our core. All right. I'm going to use a little less than what your recipe says because I don't need so much for the demo. So I've already got about a third of a green bell pepper diced in here. Now we're going to do the same with the red. Whenever it's any of your chilies or tomatoes, you want to put the skin side against the board because you see the skin is pretty resistant to the blade. When you put the fleshy side up, it doesn't take any effort, all right, to cut it into strips. And again, like I said yesterday, it'll be your preference how large you like your cuts for this. I tend to go, more like maybe a quarter-inch to a half-inch size cut. Well, the video we saw yesterday, she was going much smaller on her cuts. Your preference. What you do want to do is make sure they're uniform, whichever way you go. All right, so we get our peppers all cut. All right. Same thing with this cap piece. We can still make this. We can't get a perfect cut from the cap, but we can still get a utility cut. So it might not go into high-end dining, but there's nothing wrong for family-style service like we're going to be making with this gumbo today. All right, I'll go. Next thing up will be that celery. It's your preference again, but I'm thinking about a half a stalk. All the celery is edible. I just take off the very minimum of the root end. About a half a stalk I'll use. So again, we've got to go systematically. That celery's got those little ribs in it already, naturally. We'll just cut it in line with those ribs more or less. Alright, line them all up together. Me, I'm not a huge celery fan. That's about the only thing I don't like. So I tend to cut my celery a little smaller. Now again, that's my preference, my dish. Alright, work that down. Now, these are our ingredients for what we call our Cajun mirepoix, also known as the Holy Trinity. These are all going to go in the same bucket together because they're all going to be added together in the same amount of cooking. Next up, we've got our onion. I'm going to go through this quickly because I've already posted my onion cutting technique in the course shell. So we're going to take and remove the stem and the roots. All right. Now we'll just take and half this onion. Now again, I've talked to you about it before. Recipes are relative, right? These are small onions, so half of one of these is not going to be equivalent, to some of the great big onions, that I have at home a lot of the time. So you'll want to use your own judgment, how much you prefer. Also, I like to see a good eyeball ratio between all the mirepoix ingredients. So now that we're clean, we're going to start by cutting in the direction of the lines of the onion. Alright, now it's all bound together still. Now, again, with our knuckles out of the way, our fingers out of the way, go back across the face. Alright, we can use all of that. And you know what? You see how I'm spilling some pieces on the table? Well, that's why we keep the entire work surface sanitized. I went over this with the quaternary ammonium. So this is actually still a good contact surface, sanitized, and we can make use of it. Alright, now as far as garlic, this is a whole full of garlic, and I'm breaking it down into cloves. Garlic is another one, that's your preference, how much you enjoy garlic, or if the recipe tells you, 2 to 3 cloves, are we talking about great big cloves or little small cloves? These are pretty average. So skin's coming off these pretty easy. Sometimes they're a little more resistant. That's what I like to do. Just a little bit of pressure against that, pop the skins off. All right. Now this one's one I got from my idol, Martin Yan. He always showed me with this. Just under the flat edge of the blade, pulverize that part, okay? And then from there, still a little bigger than you want. And of course, take your time, move slowly for safety. I've got Principal Rodriguez here filming for me today, so I want to make sure we're making good use of his time too. You see how we do this now? We're just fanning back and forth over the garlic. For my taste, that looks about right. Okay. And again, all these items will be added to the dish simultaneously. Alright, so that's your Trinity right there. Alright.